What's up? It's Mike B. Today is Sunday, January 15th, 2023. And just want to welcome you to Reflections and Encouragement with Mike Brown. And I'm Mike Brown. On this show, I really try to focus on taking some time to reflect on things that may have happened over the past days, weeks, few months, and then also offer some words of encouragement for you and for I as we approach the days, weeks, and months ahead. As I think back on some things that have transpired really since August. August was the last time that I recorded one of these. I want to really get back into the consistency of doing these now. But since August, what I can really say to sum everything up is gratitude. That's really the word. It's a word that I use all the time because I'm just so thankful. I'm thankful to be here. I'm thankful to be able to just be present and live out, my purpose on this earth. And so, number one is gratitude. A lot's transpired since August. My goodness. A few highlights, I would say. One is I published a book. So, Cara Cran, Mary Argine, and I published a book called The Leprechauns Game Day at Notre Dame. It was published September 20th, and it's been a big success. Like, we get feedback from a lot of people about the book and just enjoying the experience with the book themselves, but also with their children and families, cousins, nieces, nephews, you name it. And so we're just really proud of the work that's being done through that book and the people, right? That is impacting. The low that happened around that same time on September 14th really was I ended up having another seizure. And it's a seizure. It was very mild. It was a mild episode. But it's one that I tried to deny. It's one that I tried to really pretend didn't happen. I was at an event for work at Notre Dame, and I just kind of went away for a second, and they didn't really know what happened. I thought I was sleepwalking, but I wasn't conscious and I wasn't aware of my environment, and so it was something where I thought, oh, I was just sleepy and I'll be fine, but when I talked to my neurologist, he said, Mike, did you lose consciousness? And I said, yeah. And he's like, man, you shouldn't be driving. We got to maybe adjust your medications and keep rolling. Well, the thing about that was a month after September 14th, I was this close, y'all. I was this close to being 6 months seizure free. And so in my head, I went all the way to October and pretended as though, again, in reality, I knew in my heart, but I pretended as though I made it to 6 months when in reality I didn't. And so I made it almost 5 months. And so it was just a devastating blow to, I don't even know how to describe it, but I went back to starting my cycle of seizures all over again. It was just a very frustrating time. But thankfully the book was published right after that, and there's a lot of good things that happened right after that. So kept my spirits up, had a good time. My family and I went to Disneyland in October. It was a great experience out there, and just a lot of things to be grateful for. But I'll fast forward to December, and this December of 2022, and there's a program that my dad and I have been working on along with my brothers. We partnered with United Way of Greater Milwaukee, and it's a program that's in memory of my late cousin, Jeannetta Robinson. They call her Little Jeannetta Robinson, or Little Netta. My cousin is the one I wrote a story about in a book called Little Netta's Gift. She's the one that the story is based on. And this book and the story is around this little girl, my cousin, who her birthday is December 27th. And on her 27th, or on her 6th birthday, rather, back on December 27, 1980, she ended up having a birthday party. And at her party, she gave away her gifts to some friends attending her party after she learned they didn't get gifts for Christmas. So it's a story that I've shared for the past 2+ years now. It's a story that came to my heart and one I felt needed to be told. But with that story, what we've also done is establish a program in memory of Little Netta, where it's a program called the Little Jeannetta Robinson Gifts of Love program. And through the support of so many generous people, we've been able to provide gifts to children attending 4 schools in Milwaukee the past 2 years. And this past year, right, December 2022, we decided to give gifts to children who attend little Netta's former school in Milwaukee. And so these are kids who are walking the same halls that little Netta walked. And it was just a beautiful experience to give those children gifts. We gave gifts to the whole K through 5, about 240 some children. And overall, we've provided gifts to now almost 1,200 children over the past 2 years. And we're just grateful to be able to do that, but that couldn't be done without your support. And so there's people who've been generous in providing resources to go directly toward the gifts for the program. Thanks to your generosity and support of little Jeannetta Roberts, or the Little Netta book, I've been able, through my company Solster, to take some of the proceeds and put it toward the gifts for the program as well. Grateful to share, it's been about $6,500 that have come from Solster alone to help support providing gifts. And it's just a true blessing, right? Solster's a startup, and thanks to the people, again, thanks to you who've been buying Little Netta's gift, I've been able to provide those resources to these children, and it's been just a pure blessing. What we've also been able to do, again, thanks to the generosity of people who purchase books, there's a number of people who actually purchase copies of Little Netta's gift, and those books, they purchased them with the intent of actually donating those books to the children. So not only were the children able to receive gifts, but they also, thanks to, again, more generous people who purchased books for the program, we were able to supply each child with a book with a story about little Netta. So it's been a blessing, wonderful experience. But the one thing that I want to really take away from what also happened that month, and again, thanks for everybody's support of that program, truly appreciate it. But one thing that happened in December is that I visited a school in Oak Park, Ascension Catholic School, and I talked to the children. It was during the Advent season, and I shared Little Netta's story with the children and just talked about her act of kindness and generosity and love and empathy and compassion toward others. And when I shared that story, a number of kids asked where Little Netta was now. And when I'm talking to a young audience in that kindergarten through 3rd grade range, what I typically say is, oh, Little Netta's in heaven, and that's typically it. And so on this particular day with this group of children, there was a little girl. She had to be maybe in 4th grade, I want to say. She came up to me after the talk and asked, what would I tell little Netta what would I say to her if she was here today? And I was blown away, right, by her question. I really didn't even know how to respond or what to say, but I gave it some thought, and I said I would tell little Netta, thank you for being an inspiration to others. And that's what I told her. That's what I would probably say to little Netta, just thank you for inspiring people with her act of kindness. It was you can think of it as a small act, but it's inspired a number of people since 1980, and just blessed. And that's what I would tell her. But that leads me to my words of encouragement for us as we approach the days and the weeks and months ahead, is that you never know what small act or what may be considered something small in your life. You never know what that small act of love, act of kindness, that phone call you make to someone, that text you send someone to just check in on them, opening the door. You never know, just something simple that you might do for somebody. You never know how it is something that could inspire other people by either seeing what you've done or experiencing what you've done. And let's just keep that in mind as we press forward in the days ahead, is to just keep in mind that there's little things that we might do to help others, to make our lives better. There's little things that we could do, and those little things could be something that make a big difference in someone else's life, and of course, in your own life as well. All right, that's it. Take care. Have a great week. God bless.